His starting five includes four foreign-born players, including leading scorer Daniel Mullings, who's joined in the backcourt by Casey Ross Miller. Up front, Bonjasi, Tyrone Watson, and Sim Bular. The head coach for Seattle U in his fourth season, Cameron Dollar, a record with the Redhawks of 45 and 57. His starting lineup includes a backcourt of Devon and Pickett Jr., Prince Abassi, and up front, Deshaun Sunderhouse, Chad Rasmussen, and former Washington Husky Clarence Trent. Third member of our broadcast crew, we say hello to Jen Mueller.
One of the guys we won't see tonight, Tom, is Sterling Carter. You know, this Seattle U program has been through an awful lot of transitions the last couple of years.
At 6'9", Deshaun Sunderhouse probably feels a bit small, facing the 7'5", Sim Bular, who wins the opening tip. And we are underway at Elgin Baylor Court with the Redhawks of Seattle University, hoping to break through for their first ever WAC conference victory, off to an 0-3 start.
Well, Bular, he just went up on his toes on that tip, Tom. You know? And certainly, again, he shows his agility. So it's going to be interesting to watch how he plays.
Yeah, when he dunks, he does not need much elevation. Ross Miller to Watson. Inside to Bular, and stolen by Clarence Trent. In transition, and Trent just got himself out of control. Mullings with the steal, and in transition goes in and lays it in. The leading scorer for the Aggies at 15 per game, but he's really cranked it up, coach, in conference play at 19.5 per contest. But Sunderhouse with the answer for Seattle U, and the Redhawks with trademark full court pressure.
Well, two good opening plays there. You know, get up the court, Mullings. I mean, take it as far as you can, see if you can put it up off the board. He did that. And then on the other end, Sunderhouse shows no fear. He made a quick move, got a little space between him and the big guy, and scored.
Bular missing, tipped by C, no good. And Obasi quickly into front court for Seattle U. To Trent, he'll take that long three. A little strong. Obasi chasing down the offensive rebound, and a fresh time on the shot clock. Rasmussen doesn't want to use much of it, though. Trent inside, missing the lay-in. So some good opportunities that time for the Redhawks, both outside and inside.
Well, the Redhawks, they showed their quickness there. They quick down the court, quick to the basket, quick to the ball, quick to get back. And now here again, good rebound and trying to look for the transition game. Watson missing the baseline shot.
Sunderhouse is a good outside shooter, passed up on that one. Von Pickett Jr. has played well as of late. Inside out, Sunderhouse, and we talked about his range, coach, and there's an example, 4 quick points for him.
Well, I'm sure they'll take advantage of that. The big guy doesn't want to come out. Usually big guys are very uncomfortable past the foul line. So if you get some wide open looks from the foul line, I'm sure Sunderhouse is going to knock him down.
And Bular not anticipating that pass from Watson.
Well, we talk about there, right there. Now the big guy, he's hesitant. He's you know, he doesn't want to step out there because he doesn't want that quickness to beat him to the basket. So that's a nice look by Sunderhouse.
And Bular has taken a seat on the Aggies bench, replaced by Ronaldo Dixon, a 6'9" junior out of Toronto. 16 players on this New Mexico State roster. 8 are foreign-born, as I mentioned. 4 starters foreign-born, so they will go wherever they need to go to find the talent. Pickett Jr. resetting the offense, shot clock at 9. Sunderhouse with the screen. Strong with that 3 ball is Pickett.
Well, New Mexico already made a change because the big guy just is going to have a hard time with the quickness of the Redhawks, so they had to get him out of the game right away.
Watson backing in on Trent and got the bounce. Tyrone Watson, a 6'5" senior out of Hamilton, Ontario, averaging just under 10 points per game, getting his first bucket here tonight, an early 4-4 tie. Then Watson with the steal, up ahead to Bonjasi, and it's taken away by Obasi. Rasmussen from downtown. Chad Rasmussen.
And that's what Seattle U wants. They want to get some good open looks for this guy, and if he do, he certainly can make them.
Connects on 37% of his shots from beyond the arc. Dixon inside, no good. That ball going off the foot of Clarence Trent. Red Hawks getting ready to make their first substitution. Trent will take a seat. Lewis Green checking in. Lewis Green, a young man who started the season in the starting lineup, but is now in a role of coming off the bench. Watson, unconventional shot, but it goes. Really starts off near the hip area, Coach, around his waist.
Yeah, you know, if you play good pressure defense, that's a tough shot to get off. But if you give him room and stay back, certainly he feels confident, and he's going to look at it. That's at the foul line.
Sunderhouse and Green not on the same page on that last possession. Nice backdoor cut by C, and the feed from Watson.
Oh, that was a good pass there because Watson saw the defense watching, and then they made a backdoor cut. Nice pass.
Mexico State with a 1-point lead as we approach the 15-minute mark here in the first half. Rasmussen rejected by C, and a foul underneath. That will go against Casey Ross Miller. And that brings us to our first time out at Key Arena. Lots of action early on. The Aggies.
He's done a good job. He's gotten some nice players.
Came by to say hi to you. Remembers your stint in Toronto as head coach of the Raptors. So back to action with Devon Pickett Jr. to inbound. Jarrell Flora has checked in for the Red Hawks, number 35, and Sunderhouse dragged that pivot foot just a bit and turning it over on the travel. Early shooting numbers in this game. New Mexico State 4 of 8. Seattle University 3 of 8.
Well, it's a close game so far, and both teams are very aggressive. Both teams are willing to try and penetrate, rebound, and Tyrone Watson has shown that he can play some pretty good defense.
Really the on-court leader for this Aggie club. Marvin Menzies calls him to glue on the court, the man who just handed off that ball. Mullings will chase it down and over and back. One official thought that I believe Pickett may have gotten a hand on it, but that is now 4 turnovers for each club, and certainly both would like to clean that up a bit.
Yeah, they really would. I didn't think that was an over and back. I thought the ball was slapped off his knee, and so, but I'm not officiating the game.
They won't reverse it now.
No.
Pickett kicks it out. Jarrell Flora. Green and Sunderhouse. A little bit of a high-low game. They're trying to get going. Watson going down on the deck. Green comes up with it. The pass stolen by Ross Miller, who blows the lay-in, but C there to clean it up.
Well, good follow-up that time, but it shows you both teams are aggressive, man-to-man defense. They get out, put pressure on the ball. They're playing the passing lanes as well.
Bonjassi out of Cergy, France, near Paris. Played at Stone Ridge Prep in Southern California. Good rebound. In fact, the best on the club at nearly 7 per game. Green blocked by Watson. Sunderhouse kicks it out to Pickett. High arcing shot off the back rim. Offensive rebound for Obasi. Flora off the side of the glass. Sunderhouse no good. Flora follow no good. Rebound by C for New Mexico State.
Well, both teams very aggressive going after the ball. You got to like that if you're the coach of either team.
Ross Miller on that miss. Miscommunication there in terms of, you can't blame Lewis Green on that. He saw Flora going up for what he thought was a shot. Wasn't thinking catch. He was thinking rebound off a possible miss.
Yeah, and we always say, never put yourself in the air where all of a sudden you got to get a miracle pass. You got to keep your feet on the ground. You're right. He was going up for the shot. His teammate decided to go to the basket, throws the ball away. Results, turnover.
Trent returns to the lineup for Seattle U along with Luis Bedart, who's getting his first action. A redshirt freshman out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Contact in the paint. And that'll go against Prince Obasi, his first.
You take a look at that right there. Good penetration and the reach in. Great call by the officials. the reaching occurred before the shot, so they got to take the ball out under the basket.
Each team with just one team foul. Checking in, number 14, Terrell DeRuin. And also returning, Simbular. Ball knocked out, and C will inbound for the Aggies. There's the big fella right there at 7'5", 335. Stolen by Jarrell Floyd in transition on the push to Trent. And fouled as he went up. And Clarence Trent will head to the line.
Well, that's a nice fast break by the Red Hawks, because right there they get the ball, they're going out, they got kind of a 3-on-2 situation there. Nice play, nice bounce pass, and gets fouled in the act of shooting. So now they're at the line. Clarence Trent for 2.
Trent shoots 71% at the stripe. That foul was on Watson, his first. New Mexico State had been on a 6-0 run. Look at the numbers for Trent on the season. Second leading scorer at 10.5 per game. Sunderhouse leads the way at 11, the redshirt freshman.
Well, the Red Hawks are going to stay up, put the full court pressure defense, make them turn the ball over. So they must know something about New Mexico State. But they're staying up after a basket, after a free throw. They're going to stay up and pressure full court.
New Mexico State averaging 16 turnovers per game. They hand it over right there, and then the Red Hawks unable to capitalize. And the Aggies will inbound. Again, a little ragged here in terms of New Mexico State to win the conference this season. In the media poll, they were picked number 2.
Yeah, well, polls, you know, everybody likes polls, but at the same time, the polls are kind of a challenge, I think. And right there, you see Seattle use pressure. Their man-to-man pressure is bothering New Mexico. And the thing about it is keeps the ball from going inside. So they're not going to be able to take advantage of the big guy if they can't get the ball over half court.
7 turnovers apiece, and that time Mullins just jumped up, got himself in the air, and again, nowhere to throw the basketball. C with a finish. Banja C out of France. The high flyer putting it down for the Aggies. 6 points for C. Green over Bula for 2. First basket for Lewis Green.
And now you got the Red Hawks full court pressure again, forces a turnover. So New Mexico State's got to take care of the ball. Right now they're just looking and throwing the ball, and the pressure seems to be affecting them.
Turnover number 8. We see this fairly often in Seattle U games because of their aggressive defensive style. Now, if you handle it well, you can exploit it. We saw the Washington Huskies do that earlier this season. But if you panic, you're going to pay a price for it. Trent, air ball. DeRuin with a rebound, and then he dribbles it off his knee. That's turnover number 9. Timeout here at Elgin Baylor Court. Banja C putting on an early show for the Aggies.
I mean, just come out and cheer. We have limited space in the pool, but you can stand and show your support in any way. It's really awesome.
Just like we would do with hoops there, guys. We love the support.
Jen, thanks so much, and congratulations to Kevlin for a terrific job. And obviously, young lady who's done tremendous things in the pool.
It's nothing like the Olympics, though, I'll tell you.
My goodness.
It's a great experience. Unbelievable.
You have a little experience there.
Yeah.
You got a few medals at home, right?
Hey, yeah, you know.
Gold, I believe.
Right, that's right. What a great experience.
Inside, up with the left hand, Louise Bedart. And a foul in the backcourt by Trent. We were talking about the turnover story, Lenny, with New Mexico State already turning it over 9 times, Seattle U 8 times. Season high in turnovers for the Aggies, 26 against Louisiana. Now here's the thing, from an SU perspective, they really have not been able to capitalize on those turnovers, getting just 5 points out of them.
Yeah, and that's why New Mexico State's still in this game, because even though they turned the ball over a lot, Seattle U hasn't made them pay.
Red Hawks up by a point. Third lead change here in the first half. 2 ties. Number 3, Remy Berry is in the game. He is out of Paris, France.
Well, that's what they have to do. If you go into the low block to the big guy, you know they're going to come back. You have to cut to the basket, and he rewarded them with a nice pass.
Sunderhouse going to work on Bular, a little strong, and Bular with a rebound. Fouled by Sunderhouse.
Well, the big guy showed he could get off the floor on that one. You know, he went up and got that rebound. It didn't come to him.
First foul on Sunderhouse. 3 team fouls against Seattle U, 2 against New Mexico State. Part of his progression, Lenny, has been some weight loss. He's been having some success with. Inside, Mullings fouled as he drove to the hoop. He'll head to the line to shoot some free throws. So the plan is lose some of the weight and then start adding some muscle mass to that frame.
Yeah, you add some muscle mass to him, and he has pretty good footwork, as we talked about early on. So certainly he has, his growth potential is huge.
Mullings connecting on the first. Dad's 6'5", Mom, I believe, is 5'10", and he has a younger brother who's 7'2", who, as you might imagine, is playing some basketball as well.
I want to know what their diet is.
Well, whatever it is, coaches around the country certainly want to know. Inside, Pickett goes to last. Devon Pickett Jr., a 6-foot junior transfer. Played high school ball here in Seattle at Rainier Beach. He's put out a lot of outstanding basketball players, including Jamal Crawford, Nate Robinson, both currently in the NBA.
Well, I tell you, you know, both teams are playing with a lot of energy, and that's great because they're really trying to get up the court. And Seattle U's defensive pressure has been outstanding.
Watson lost it, got it back. Trent with a rebound. Bular down on the deck, and Pickett Jr. taking advantage of it with Sunderhouse open at the rack. Nice alley-oop. 6 points for Sunderhouse and a nice drive coming right back at the Redhawks, Daniel Mullings.
Yeah, well, you know, you score on one end, you got to get back on defense for the other end because they're going to come out and run against you.
Mullings with 7. Trent from downtown connected. 5 points for Clarence Trent. Watson. Cross court, Mullings for 3. A little tit for tat here at Elgin Baylor court. Mullings up to 10 points. First player into double figures. Rasmussen inside the Trent. Does anybody want to play defense, Coach?
No, I think they both want to get up and down the floor,
do.
but you got to like the intensity on both sides.
Getting after it. I asked Coach Menzies at shoot-around today, how will we know if your team is playing well? He said, Tom, we're pushing it and we're running. If we're doing that, we're playing the way we want to.
Yeah, they want to play that up-tempo game, get transition baskets, and they're pretty good at that.
Ross Miller over to Mullings. Redhawks zone defensively. Open look, but an air ball by Casey Ross Miller with the shot clock winding down.
Well, I tell you, you know, at Seattle U, like I said, they want to play that up-tempo game right here. Here, nice look, great basket right there. I mean, that's good eye contact down the court. Now you come inside, and Trent is ready for the pass. Just makes it look easy.
Very nice find that time by Chad Rasmussen, who has returned. Jack Crook on the court now, along with Prince Obasi returning. Rasmussen missing from downtown. And a rebound by Berry. Quickly up court, Bonjasi. Going glass a little strong, and Jack Crook with a rebound. We've talked about the foreign-born players on that New Mexico State roster. Jack is out of Manchester, England. 6'11" freshman. Transfer out of Laredo College. Sunderhouse taking a seat. Lewis Green returning. In the corner. Knocking down the 3-ball. Kevin Aronis, a 6'3" transfer out of Santa Rosa, JC. The only JC transfer on this New Mexico State roster. With Marvin rebounds to his credit tonight.
Yeah, well, Seattle U hasn't been able to take advantage of those rebounds, though. They are dominating on the boards, but the turnovers have kept both teams sort of at bay. So right now, the team that gets going quickly or gets out there and takes care of the ball is going to do a great job. As you see, a great putback that time.
Crook doing a nice job after the Rasmussen miss. Chad had a very good look. Pickett with the defense on Ross Miller. Barry. Shot clock at 15. And Rasmussen will get the foul, the hold on C. First foul on Chad Rasmussen. 15th foul against the Redhawks, 2 against New Mexico State. Barry will check out as Tyrone Watson returns.
Well, Seattle's defense was so good that time they put New Mexico State in a half-court game. And certainly they had to show real patience, which they did. They haven't done much of that.
See, inside elevates. And Crook tipping it over. Green coming up with it. Pickett on the push. Obasi. Cut off, goes inside. Crook to the left hand.
Nice play. Nice play. I mean, nice turn. He turned away from the defense, used his left hand, and scored a little hoop.
4 quick points for Crook, who averages just 2.3 per game. Dixon inside with the lay-in. He has his first 2. Rasmussen drives baseline, but out of control. Loose ball, and Watson and numbers as C unleashes and unloads against Seattle U's defense. Not doing a very good job getting back, Coach.
No, but that was a great play there by Watson. I'm telling you. I mean, he looked one way and passed the ball straight up the court. Great play.
8 points for C. Crook with the move, using the body. Real strong. Dixon with a board. Mexico State up by 1. Really good ball movement on the perimeter, and then they go inside to Watson over Obasi, and the rebound by Prince, who kicks it out to Pickett.
That was good defense by Obasi. You know, he didn't commit. He made him have to make a great shot.
Pickett to Green, and Lewis Green fouled inside. A couple of free throws coming up for Green. The foul against Bonjasi, that is his first. Good look at C out of Sergi near Paris. There's Green's numbers. Senior out of Westchester, Illinois. 6'9", 240. 57% free throw shooter. Jarrell Flora returning. And Rasmussen will check out for the Redhawks. Jarrell Flora, 6'3", redshirt sophomore out of Bremerton High School, averages 4.4 per contest. Sunderhouse getting ready to return.
Well, you're going to see a lot of substitutions when you play at this kind of pace, up and down the court. I mean, that's a great transition offense, great transition defense.
She unable to finish for the Aggies. Cameron Dollar in the background yelling, "Get a pick, get a pick." Pickett trying to direct traffic with disorganization on this offensive set. Crook off balance from the foul line. C with a rebound.
Yeah, it was a little hesitation that time by the Redhawks, and that caused a little confusion.
Aronis, open look. Crook hitting the deck. And a timeout taken by the Aggies of New Mexico State, who for the first time this season are wearing those black uniforms you're looking at.
Done a wonderful job.
Former assistant Rick Pitino at Louisville, Alon Kruger at UNLV, Steve Fisher down at San Diego State. So some really high caliber coaches that he's worked with over the years.
Yeah, he's worked with some class guys and guys who really know the game.
Ross Miller, Watson feeds it inside. Bular goes up, can't get the finish, but does get the tip. Sim Bular with his first 2 points, averages just under 10 per game. Obasi from downtown. Flora with a rebound. Another chance for the Redhawks, who have a lot of offensive boards in this one, but they have not taken advantage of it. Mullings on the push now. Dumps it off to C. Shot as he was tripped up. And he'll head to the line.
Well, I tell you, when Bular is in the game, the thing you want to do is get the ball into him on a low block where all he has to do is turn and go up just like that. And then he followed his own shot, got a nice little tip. So, yeah, that's how you take advantage of the big guy.
Coach Menzies telling me if he progresses as they believe he can, they really look at this as a young guy who could have a 10-year career, if not more, in the NBA.
Well, I tell you, he's learning, and he listens. So he's going to make a lot of progress, and Coach Menzies wants to work with him. You know, he likes the kid, and the kid showed that he has a nice feel on the floor. He's not afraid to be in that low block, but also when they come double team, he made that one pass to his teammate, got him a layup. Those are things that he can get better at.
In his 7 games as a starter, averaging nearly 14 points per contest. And New Mexico State equaling its largest lead of 3 points. Sunderhouse. Dart with the ball. Returning to the Red Hawks lineup. Trent in some trouble. Pickett Jr. Double clutch, comes up short. Bular with a rebound.
Now that was good defense that time by New Mexico State. They gave a lot of good help, got the rebound, got it up court. Now they got to show a little bit of patience in a half-court game.
See, with a size advantage over Flora, but out on the perimeter. Casey Ross-Miller with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Out of the double team, inside to Bular, goes up. And it's Flora coming up with it for the Red Hawks off to Pickett. Trent. And the charge on Clarence Trent, his second personal foul, and a Seattle U turnover. Timeout here at Elgin Baylor Court. 8 lead changes. The score has been tied 6 times. Lenny in the paint, New Mexico State with a 20-10 advantage.
Yeah, and you know, they're looking to get the ball out, get to the basket, so that's why, because they're getting to the hoop, and they got, 9 assists. So they've done a pretty good job of getting that ball inside.
Take a listen to that last foul against Bonjasi. See, taking it in. Strong white. He's a good-looking athlete, Lenny. 6'8", long, gets up and down the court really well, and obviously can elevate.
Yeah, he really can. And, you know, he's wiry. You know, he showed that he has great agility around that basket. So, yeah, you get him the ball on the fast break, and he has a step on you, he's going to put it away.
Coming off a terrific game, 16 points, 10 rebounds against Texas State. That was his second double-double on the season. Largest lead for New Mexico State at 4 points. Aggressive defense out on the perimeter by the Aggies. Sunderhouse runs into a roadblock named Bular.
Well, Bular kept his feet. He didn't go for any fakes. He stayed there right behind him. He was going to make him make a tough shot or make a pass, which he did. And right here, you see the aggressive defense by the Aggies.
And the shot clock down to 4. Inside, the laying up and in by Lewis Green. Lewis Green with 5 points. In the corner, Mullings going inside and getting it back. That is an inside-out perfect execution. Inside, outside, and back inside again. Mullings with a game-high 12 points.
Yeah, you can't draw it up any better than that, Tom, and that's what coaches love to see, that kind of execution.
Coach Menzies telling us they like to play inside out. The steal and the deal and one by Daniel Mullings with 14 points now.
That's where the quickness of the Aggies, you know. Right there, you're going to see the pass goes inside. Now, look, a nice dish, okay? And then you're going to see the steal. The Aggies come from the weak side play in the passing lane, gets out on the break, and now he gets an opportunity for a three-point play. So the Aggies' quickness may take in effect right now.
74% free throw shooter, completing the three-point play. Now up to 15 points already at his season average in conference play, averaging 19.5 per game. Green inside and one, and he'll head to the line.
Well, that's nice play by Green because he caught his man overplaying. And when you overplay, like right here, now you're locked out. Great pass and good finish.
Foul on Watson is his second, fourth team foul against New Mexico State.
Well, you knew sooner or later, at least I hope sooner or later, they were going to catch, you know, Watson, because he's been overplaying every time down the floor. And when you get overplayed, if you're the guy you're playing, if he locks you and your teammate gives you a good pass, you got a great opportunity to score.
Lewis Green did against San Jose State with 14 points and 9 rebounds. The last time out, a 76-71 loss for the Redhawks. Again, still looking at 0-3 for their first ever WAC conference victory, and hoping to get it here tonight against a club that was picked to win the conference. Flora from downtown. Jarrell Flora, 6 of 19 from three-point range coming in. First three for Flora. Redhawks within 2 inside a minute to play here at Elgin Baylor Court in the first half. C inside. Bular back to C. Body on the deck. Bular with the follow. And last touched by the Aggies.
Well, that's the area that Bular has to learn, is that when the people around you don't put the ball on the floor, it's going to be very difficult to score in those kind of situations.
Dixon getting ready to check in, and odds are it will be for Sim Bular. Sim's parents immigrated from India, born and raised in the Toronto area. Green missing. And it's going to be Aggie basketball.
I got to give Bular credit there. I mean, the big guy went out. You know, most big guys don't want to get past that foul line. And he was out there with his hand up, made a tough shot for Green.
Lose a little more weight, put a little muscle on, and you can get a little further away from the basket.
No question about it, because you know then you can recover and get back.
Aggies can play for the last shot. The clock at 10 seconds.
Seattle U is in a zone right now. They want to contain the clock as much as they can.
C will launch the three. It's a 2. Watson put back. And the breakdown defensively, rebounding for Seattle U, and Tyrone Watson takes advantage of it as the Aggies of New Mexico State head to the locker room. They did take the 2 points off, so 36-34 New Mexico State as we start the second half.
And rightly so, because Watson was up in the air, and you saw the 1.8. He wouldn't have had that much time to put the ball back. So certainly a good call and good reaction by the officials.
The Aggies come back with their original starting 5. One change for the Redhawks, and that's Lewis Green getting the start for Sunderhouse. Tyrone Watson, who, by the way, had a career-high 5 steals in the first half. Shot clock at 9.
He was really playing the passing lanes and certainly was able to get to those steals. So, but the Redhawks corrected it, because the last time he got caught outside and they got a little backdoor play.
Devon Pickett Jr. knocking it out. Bonjasi to inbound. It's stolen by Pickett. Dealing with Watson. Oh, and Daniel Mullings. Wow, talk about instant elevation, but the goaltending call.
That was almost an incredible play, okay? You see them get out on the break, and he's coming from behind. Look at that. He almost gets there, but that ball is just about to come down.
May have been in the cylinder a bit. Boy, there's getting up and then there's getting up quickly. And Mullings can do both.
Well, early on, at the beginning of this half, the team that takes care of the ball and gets the momentum going, I think is going to be the team that's going to have the advantage.
Bular with the putback. Nice job by Sim. Saw the leading scores, 15 for Mullings, 7 points for Clarence Trent, Lewis Green to pace the Redhawks. Obasi will floater on the baseline. Nicely done by Prince Obasi, who has 4 points.
Well, he knew he couldn't go all the way that time, so that was smart on his part to pull up on that baseline and shoot the little floater.
Check it, first 2 for Prince Obasi, who averages just under 8 per game. Senior out of Reseda, California, and a transfer from Saddleback Community College. Ross Miller trying to use the pick from Watson to see. Watson over Rasmussen, drawing contact. And Tyrone Watson will head to the line. The foul on Chad Rasmussen, that is his second. First team foul here in the second half for the Redhawks.
Well, that's where Watson can be very effective. If you get the ball to him in the paint area, he is strong enough and agile enough that he can make something happen. So don't be surprised if they start to look for that a little bit more this half.
69% free throw shooter, a senior out of Hamilton, Ontario, averages 9.8 and 5.2 rebounds per game. At a career high 24. Rasmussen. Trent for 3. Will he get the bounce? And the rebound by Mullings.
Now, Mullings, you know, is going to look to push it. He likes the transition game, and he's very effective with it.
That's a real challenge for Pickett Jr. dealing with Daniel Mullings. Watson wide open. And 2 Aggies colliding there. Bonjasi and
Mullings. Mullings was too aggressive that time. He knocked it away from his own teammate.
Well, you like the intent. The Aggies just don't like the result. New Mexico State up by 2.
Well, the pace has slowed a little bit this half. You could tell right away it's not as much up and down as we saw in the first half.
Obasi reaching in is Mullings. And Daniel with his first personal, first team foul against New Mexico State. Good look at Prince Obasi. 4.2 assists per game for the Redhawks. That's 3rd best in the WAC. Trying to add some points. Trent with a foul. Clarence Trent with a team-high 9 points.
That was great by Trent because he stayed there, helped his teammate, got a nice putback. They showed that they were much more aggressive on the boards that time.
Watson, offensive foul, got that left elbow out a little too far away from the body.
Well,
3rd foul on Watson.
Yeah. And you'll see right here, Obasi right there, he's going to go for the shot, and here comes Trent. He's going to stay after it, gets a nice putback, and he scores.
Like Watson just lost him, and then at the other end.
At the other end, Watson tried to do too much. He tried to do too much.
Terrell DeRuin, number 14, is checked in for the Aggies. Overplay by Watson, knocking it out. He thought it was off of Trent. Now, this is a point. He didn't like that call that went against him. Didn't like that call. You got to put the officiating out of your head and focus on your job, especially with 3 fouls. You don't want to do something stupid and pick up the 4th.
That's right. Yeah. He's got to get his head back in the game and stop worrying about what the officials call. Play your game, do your job.
Rasmussen too long. Last touch by New Mexico State as Jarrell Flora checks in for Seattle U. Rasmussen will check out. It's been a rough night for Chad Rasmussen. Just 1 of 6 shooting. Dollar inside. 1 of 7 shooting for Rasmussen. 1 of 6 shooting in the first half is Cameron Dollar. Has a little heart-to-heart with Chad. Foul on DeRuin, his first. And Pickett will head to the line. Devon Pickett Jr. Just a 40% free throw shooter. Surprising for a guard. He actually shoots better from the floor at 47%.
Well, Coach Dollar is letting his player know, hey, these are the things I want you to do. This is where you can help us. And that's good because you talk to the player when he comes out and it's fresh in his mind. So I like that.
Well, and the key for Chad Rasmussen, don't worry about what you've done up to this point. Keep taking the shot and stay confident because you're going to need that outside shooting from him as Pickett finishes his work at the line now with 6 points.
Well, it'll be interesting from here on down because I thought that New Mexico kind of lost their cool a little bit. And you can't do that. You can't lose your focus in the game because it will affect what you do out there on the floor.
Foul on Obasi. That is his 3rd personal. Second team foul on Seattle U. 3 against New Mexico State. So one player from New Mexico on the Seattle U roster. We haven't seen him tonight. That's Alan Tate from Hobbs, New Mexico, which is about a 4.5-hour drive from Las Cruces. C with the air ball. Watson inside cleans up the mess.
Well, that's what he's got to do. He's got to focus playing his game, good defense, get on the boards because certainly he's shown that he's effective there.
8 points for Watson. And we are tied at 42. Green in the low block. Obasi takes it in. Pickett back inside. Nice ball movement in the paint. And Green gets the finish. He's up to 9 points.
Yeah, that was outstanding ball movement by the Red Hawks. That time they really made New Mexico work, and that ball moved around and got an easy opportunity at the basket.
Mullings inside. Lost it on the way up. Trent with the outlet. Pickett. And he'll set the offense. And it seems the intent for Cameron Dollar this half is to slow it down a little bit and get a little more functional in the half-court offense.
Yeah, they're going to show that they can run an effective half-court game. So, and that, I think, will bother New Mexico because New Mexico wants to play an up-tempo game.
Obasi backing in on Mullings. Rebound by Bular. I tell you, if he looked up court, he had a couple of potential outlets in the other direction.
He's learning to get that ball first and bring it down and protect it. So one thing at a time.
I got you.
but you're right. You're right. If he gets that, look out.
Watson. Flora on the overplay. Banjasi knocking it down with Flora in his face, and C is up to 12 points.
Well, that was a nice looking shot by C. I mean, he turned, went to the baseline, pulled up like it's something he does all the time.
Well, it's interesting, Lenny. He's shooting just 19% from three-point range, and he's taken more threes than anybody on that roster. But Coach Menzies wants him to keep shooting. Nice play. Obasi to try to get the three-point play as he'll head to the line.
That's good ball movement. Move without the ball. The pass goes inside, make a cut to the back.
Halftime, and it seems like at every timeout has been you can still play your game. Bular now out of the game, but Seattle U's proven they can slay that Giants.
Obasi completes the three-point play, and the Red Hawks up by 3.
Now, this is a great opportunity for the Red Hawks now because they got a little bit of momentum. They're going to keep it up. They're going to keep the pressure, and they're going to try and push it up. And when they don't have it, they'll feel confident about running the half-court game.
Remy Berry, number 3, is checked in for the Aggies. Mullings with an ill-advised pass. Berry comes up with it. Bedard with a defensive assignment on Mullings, and Crook coming out and committing the foul.
Well, it's not a bad idea for Cook to come out because the big guy, if he steps all the way out and makes the offense go around him, his teammate can slide under him. But that time he went, vertically, so he wasn't able to do that.
First foul on the freshman out of Manchester, England. Bedard checking out for the Red Hawks as Devon Pickett Jr. returns. DeRuin. Dixon from downtown. Rebound by Obasi. Stolen by Mullings. Quick hands of Daniel Mullings, and that's where Obasi maybe needs a little help from his teammates, letting him know somebody's right behind him.
Yeah, pick the ball up, find your teammate, get down so that you can have an opportunity to shoot the ball.
DeRuin with a miss. Crook nearly had it knocked away. Obasi. Crook setting a screen down low, trying to free up Sunderhouse. Anjasi with the kick. 12:52 left here in the second half. New Mexico State looking to run its conference record to 3-2, and for the Redhawks looking to break through with a victory after an 0-3 start.
Well, the Redhawks are showing more patience now. They're starting to, all right, we're in a half-court game. We're going to execute. We're going to play. We're going to move the ball around, and we're going to make New Mexico have to defend us.
Obasi from downtown. Prince Obasi connecting, shoots 32% from beyond the arc, has 8 points, all in the second half.
He might start, that may get him going a little bit, Tom. You know, he's starting to feel pretty good, you know.
Redhawks 4 of 15 from beyond the arc, and with their largest lead now at 6 points. Barry fouled by Sunderhouse, and that's his third. Let's get another look at the royal shot from the Prince.
Yeah, right there, you're going to see that they're stepping back. Right, you don't go below the screen. You go below the screen. That entices the shooter to shoot the ball.
Prince Obasi, the senior, scored the last 6 points on the conventional three-point play and then on the three-point shot. Barry is at the line, hitting 5 of 9 coming into the game. And pulls his club within 5 after making 1 of 2. Terrell Flora works baseline, reverse, blocked by Dixon and saved by Dixon. Good defensive play by the junior out of Toronto. Certainly this second half tempo is what Seattle University wants. Got a foul away from the ball. And that goes against Jack Cook. As we get a timeout inside of 12 minutes at 11. Look at that bench, and there is Lewis Green, who shares team high scoring honors with Clarence Trent at 9. Watson.
Seattle U doing a great defensive job. They're playing good possession defense, and they're not bailing people out. So they're staying in front of people, making them going to have to take a tough shot.
There's a tough one right there, way downtown. DeRuin with long arms of Prince Obasi right in his face, and then Mullins stepping on the sideline and turning it over.
Yeah, well, Mullins worked hard to get there, but right now he loses control, you know, right there, boom, he's out of bounds. Good call by the officials.
14th turnover against the Aggies, 15 turnovers in the game committed by Seattle U. Pickett working off a screen of Obasi as Prince gets it back. Has some room, the floater. He likes that shot, and now the right side, that runner, and let it loose.
Yeah, it was a good setup that time. I thought maybe Pickett was going to cut baseline. That would have been even sweeter, but either way, they still scored. Nice execution.
Anjasi with a miss. Redhawks on an 8-1 run. They have their largest lead in the game at 7, and Obasi with all 10 of his points in the second half, now the leading scorer for the Redhawks, who turn it back over to New Mexico State as Sim Bolar returns along with Casey Ross Miller.
We'll take a look at that play of that Obasi that they worked the last time. You know, I mean, he gets isolated on the side. Pickett cuts off, and he makes a great move to the basket. That's sweet. You can't draw it up any better.
Right-handed version of Lenny Wilkins back in the day. Simbular inside. He's fouled by, I think Crook got a hold of him. It was Jack Crook. That's his third personal. 6th team foul against the Redhawks. 14 fouls against New Mexico State as Simbular heads to the line for the first time tonight. It's a 47% free throw shooter at the line. Shoots 67% from the field. That is number 1 in the WAC conference. Leads his team with 27 blocks on the season, 1.7 per game.
Well, he doesn't have a bad release. It's just something he has to work at and focus on. But certainly that time, New Mexico State made their mind up they were going to go inside, and they haven't done that much during the game.
Showing some nice touch right there. His last time out, he was perfect from the floor against Texas State. 9 for 9. 20 points. Quite a few of those were at point-blank range. So that'll help the percentage.
No question about it. But the big guy does have a decent release on the ball. So it's a work in progress is what it is.
Good denial in the low post by C as Sunderhouse was posting up, and then C getting a little too aggressive on the other side of the lane.
Yeah. Well, you know, he was anxious. He was anxious. He played pretty good defense on this side. You go across the lane, and the offensive player usually has the opportunity or the advantage.
5th team foul against the Aggies. Redhawks up by 6 as we approach the midway point here in the second half. Sunderhouse. Oh, not that time.
No, you're not going to bring it in there.
Rejection. That can get in your head, too, when you have that rejection. Green with the open look. Lewis Green with 11 points off the bench.
Well, that's the solution. When you go to the basket, the big guys ought to come help. Where's your teammate? Find them at the foul line.
Oh, nice shot by Watson. Tyrone Watson into double figures with 10. He's had a nice game tonight. Career high in steals and now 10 points. Right at his average. Green with a pick. Pickett kicks it out to Green. Looking for back-to-back jumpers. Offensive rebound by Obasi. You can credit that to Bular because he was thinking about the shot, got a good look at all 7 feet 5 inches, and hesitated, and that led to the travel.
Well, when you make a block, that gets in people's head, okay? And now they got to find them, and they're always going to be looking, okay? And he got a nice open shot at the foul line. Now, will that work next time?
We'll find out. 6-point lead for the Redhawks. Mullings has been kind of quiet here in the second half, and not on cue, he knocked that one down, but a little strong, and Green with a rebound. Mullings, 15 points in the first half, has not scored here in the second half, and in fact, just 2 field goal attempts in the second half, and well, that is not what Marvin Menzies would like to see out of a player who had those 15 first half, 6 in the second half. For Prince Obasi, who's closing in on a potential double-double with 8 rebounds. Pickett spins into a triple team. Mullings with a steal. He'll take it the distance and look out. Big-time hops, Daniel Mullings, breaking his scoring drought here in the second half. Pickett missing. Green keeps it alive. Mullings again on the push.
That's the thing you don't want to do. You don't want Pickett to get caught down low, and he doesn't have a dribble. That's what's going to cause the turnover.
Nice find. Ross Miller on the pass inside, and that's going to send Ronaldo Dixon to the line.
Right there, Mullings makes the steal. He plays the passing legs well. No one's going to catch him on that kind of a breakaway. So, you know, that all of a sudden he comes alive again, and it was because of a turnover.
Showtime at Key Arena. Ronaldo Dixon shoots 71% at this stripe. He's up to 3 points in the game off the bench for the Aggies. Sunderhouse and Jarrell Flora getting ready to return for Seattle U. Green with a rebound. Redhawks up by 3. Rasmussen for 3. In and out. Watson to Mullings. Here's our turnover story. Turnovers forced by the Aggies, 18. 19 points as a result. Seattle U forcing 14 turnovers, scoring 13 points.
Well, this is a crucial time right now because you don't want to give the Aggies momentum. You don't want to let them back in the game.
See, inside, Watson will head to the stripe as he's fouled by Trent. A heads-up play that time by Bonjasi as he Watson open.
Put this guy right up there defensively. He made you fearful of bringing the ball up the court. So Tony, I'm sure, is bringing a lot of those ideas to the New Mexico State.
He could score too, had an NBA career high of 53 points.
Yeah, you know, and he didn't look to score. But I tell you, he ran the team. He made sure everybody was effective, and he gave great help, great support defensively.
National champion of Kentucky in 1996 and the most outstanding player of that year's Final Four. I tell you what, it has been a terrific ball game for Tyrone Watson, who is just at the line. Career high 6 steals, 4 assists, now up to 12 points and 4 rebounds. So doing a little bit of everything, Coach.
Well, he really is. He got his head back in the game. You know, he got a little flustered there earlier, but like we talked about, you know, forget that. Play your game, and that's what he started to do.
That'll be goaltending. And Dixon getting his arm in there. Let me correct myself. It's 11 points, not 12 for Watson.
Well, right here, good inside position. He goes up. That might have been missed if it hadn't touched it. But once the ball hits the board, you have to leave it alone until it comes off.
With that goaltending, Clarence Trent had 11 points, the third Red Hawk into double figures, along with Green and Obasi. Red Hawks with a 4-point advantage as we approach the 7-minute mark.
That's a good switch out front by the Red Hawks. Good talk on defense. And that force, Coach Menzie didn't like that, so he called a timeout and said, let me correct this.
You just see him talking to his guys. I mean, this is not the pace they want. Let's head to the bet on his guys not being able to push and run the ball, or do we give Seattle U credit for slowing things down?
Well, I think you give Seattle U credit for slowing things down, and also a little bit has to go towards New Mexico State because they stopped pressuring in the second half. They, you know, in the first half they were up, and that kept the tempo up. But once they stopped doing that, Seattle U played smart basketball. They put them in a half-court game, which they don't function very well in.
Last foul was against Prince Obasi. That is his. That's going to be his 4th foul. We're just double-checking on that. 4th foul for Obasi, so he heads out. Chad Rasmussen returns. It's been a tough shooting game for Rasmussen as Bonjasi unable to capitalize at the line. There's the 9th team foul against the Red Hawks, 5 against New Mexico State. Flora inside to Trent, guarded by C. And Jarrell Flora, poor court awareness. You just cannot do that.
No, you can't turn the ball over like that. They had great position. The big guy is out of the game, you know, and Trent was on the low block, and now they don't get back on defense. Somebody went to sleep.
Mullings just exploding to the rack and laying it in, up to 19 points. And New Mexico State within 2. Rasmussen bails out by getting it to Flora. And Cameron Dollar not happy with the momentum shift that he is seeing. He takes a timeout.
Yeah, you know, they had good low post position a couple of times. They didn't get the ball inside, and that's what you got to do.
It's an 18.8 turnovers per game. New Mexico State averaging 16 per contest.
Entirely too many turnovers, you know. I mean, I know that they're trying to push the tempo, get it up the court quick, but that's a lot. That's a lot of turnovers.
Sunderhouse at the high post. Back to Pickett, has a lane to the rack, lays it in and 1. Great play. Pickett Jr. coming up big now with 8 points, Coach.
Yeah, you got to give that credit to Coach Dollar calling that timeout, telling them, all right, this is what we got to do. And look at the execution right here. Nice backdoor cut. Lane to the basket, wide open. Pickett takes advantage of it, and now he has an opportunity for a 3-point play.
Second foul on Casey Ross Miller, who checks out. Pickett with 8 points. And Alan Tate getting ready to check in for the first time. We mentioned Alan earlier. He is a native of Hobbs, New Mexico. So I'm sure looking forward to play against a team from his home state. See, inside. Watson. Oh, boy. Oh, what a pass by Watson. Terrific finish by C, who's up to 14 points.
Yeah, everybody was watching the ball. He made a nice backdoor cut along the baseline and got inside.
Aggies pull within 2, 58-56. And Lenny, we talked in the pregame about finishing for Seattle U. It's been an issue through their first 3 conference games, and the struggles continue for Chad Rasmussen from downtown. Now 1 of 7 from 3-point range, 1 of 9 shooting overall. And that's got to be frustrating. That one looked like it was going down.
Yeah, and he can't even think about that. You know, he's got to forget that. That ball should have gone down. It was halfway down and came out. Good look, good shot. You know, he gets that opportunity again. He's got to take it.
4 of 18 on the 3 ball tonight for the Red Hawks. Chance for the Aggies to tie or take the lead. C inside. He'll have a chance to tie it at the line. The foul is against Sunderhouse. That is his 4th.
Well, you know, the players on the wing have got to pay attention because they're looking at the ball, and the guy they're guarding is cutting baseline and getting wide open underneath. And that's a tough play to defend when a guy is wide open under the basket.
See a 59% free throw shooter. 2 for 4 tonight at the line. You got to take advantage of these free throws as a team. New Mexico State shoots just under 66%. Seattle U, last 2 games with a late lead. At Utah State with 6 minutes to go, they were up by 3 and ended up losing by 9. At San Jose State with about 6 minutes to go, they were up by 1 and lost by 5 off the turnover. Mullings cannot finish. A missed opportunity for New Mexico State to take the lead.
Really a big missed opportunity, and I think that, you know, you want to jam that ball, but maybe it's better to lay it in.
Pickett with a crossover, hangs and hits. Devon Pickett Jr. strong physically and took advantage of it right there, Coach. He's into double figures at 10, and the Red Hawks up by 3.
Yeah, big time shot that time by Pickett. So that was good. He's, you know, that time he helped his team by getting that ball out and took advantage of the transition break.
Watson, nice hesitation, move and 1. Tyrone Watson continues his strong game. He'll go for the 3-point play.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Mullings, you know, getting out on that break. I mean, he has such great quickness. We can't turn the ball over. We can't make bad plays. We got to execute, and we got to defend. We got to defend. We got to get back and know where people are.
Second time this season, Sunderhouse has fouled out. 3-point play completed by Watson, and we are tied at 60. It's a sprint to the finish here at Elgin Baylor Court. Tate. Pickett looks inside to Green, who's been strong tonight off the bench. Mullings going for the steal.
You got to know that with Mullings, on every pass, he's going to be trying to get to the basket.
Green inside, rejected by Bular. Well, what can you do, Coach? He's 7'5". You go up strong and hope for the best, hope for a foul, but that block was clean. A timeout with 3. You get a good look at Lewis Green and his line as the Red Hawks inbound. Clarence Trent, and thrown away, and really an unforced error that time by the Red Hawks.
Those are the things that kill you as a coach. You know, you're right. He has to take a dribble towards the baseline and make that pass in. That's a tough pass for any big guy to pick up off the ground.
21st turnover against Seattle U. DeRuin to Mullings. A bit of confusion defensively for the Red Hawks as Cameron Dollar shouts out instructions. Watson, floater, nice.
And the confusion was they were in a 3-2 zone, and nobody was covering the corner or the wing. And so that got them out of sync a little bit.
16 points for Watson, and then the answer by Obasi as he's up to 12 points. We're tied at 62. Watson again. No offensive rebound by Tyrone, puts it up and gets the bounce. And Tyrone Watson showing that senior leadership that Coach Menzies told us about. He's the glue on the court, and he's flexing some muscle here late in Seattle.
Well, he's feeling it, and so he's almost like not to be denied. He's going to keep going to the basket every opportunity he gets.
Up to 18 points.
This is a crucial time. This is where Seattle U has to execute, got to take care of the ball. They need a score right now.
Pickett inside. No option there with Bular waiting for him. The clock at 5. The pick from Green. There's Bular forcing a high arcing shot that Pickett could not connect on.
Well, that was a tough shot because he controlled the tempo the whole time. He had the ball all the time. And, you know, you don't make anybody move when you're just dribbling.
He's looking to build on their 2-point lead. See, over to Watson. See Watson open in the low block, but C didn't see him. Bular with the screen. DeRuin with a rare shot, no good. Mullings, the athleticism kept it alive, but the shot blocked. And the Aggies maintain possession with 1:35 left to play.
They were lucky that time. You know, Mullings with his energy, he got the ball back, but that was an ill-advised shot. He should have brought it outside so they can execute. They're very fortunate they have the ball right now.
Watson and a foul, no, a timeout taken by New Mexico State with 1:22 left to play, 17 seconds on the shot clock. And let's take another look at Tyrone Watson. Coming in the second half, averages 9.8 per game. And a huge possession in this contest.
Yeah, you can see what Coach is doing right now. They're going to make sure that they set the clock, use this big screen. Everybody's involved. Everybody's on the boards here. Look at the big guy.
And
good
rebound. Yeah, Clarence Trent battling inside. Mullings with the first miss. Bular with the second. And the Red Hawks down by 2. And a timeout taken by Cameron Dollar. That will leave 1 timeout remaining for each club with 53.5 seconds left to play. So, I wonder what Cameron team fouls. And with 24 seconds on the shot clock, 53.5 on the game clock, Seattle U inbounds.
Seattle U's got to take care of the ball. They got to make sure they execute. They can't turn the ball over this time.
Obasi backing in on C. Trent, open look for 3 from the corner. Got it!
We talked about it. You know, they got a wide open look because you know everybody's going to collapse.
Red Hawks by 1, and Mullings stepped out of bounds. 36 seconds left. And 35 seconds on the shot clock for the Red Hawks.
Well, that's where Mullings' quickness sometimes can get him in trouble because he gets a little out of control. You got to know exactly where you are. And we talked about when Seattle U comes out, good execution. Don't turn the ball over. Draw people in. Look at that wide open shot by Trent. Nice execution.
Second made 3 ball in the game for Clarence Trent, who has a team high 14 points. And what a painful, again, unforced turnover against New Mexico State, trailing by 1. And the pressure and the foul by DeRuin, which will send Devon Pickett Jr. to the line. And again, a poor free throw shooter at 40%. So Marvin Menzies getting the person to the line that he wanted there. And this is a 1-and-1 and some pressure for Devon Pickett Jr.
Well, this is an opportunity for Pickett, okay? This is an opportunity. Step up, knock down that first shot, okay? And then you're going to play the rest of the game. We talk about finish the game with focus, with clarity, you know, with confidence.
11 points for Pickett. Regardless of what happens on this shot, it remains a 1-possession game. Green checking in. Bedard checking out. More height for rebounding, I think, from Coach Dollar's perspective.
Well, it may be a one-possession game, Tom, but, you know, if he makes this basket, then you got to play good defense. No three-point opportunities. Stay up. Make someone have to make it too.
Red Hawks up by 3. Deruin in the front court. They can go for a quick 2. Penetration, kick out, C. No good. Mullings with the rebound.
Stay up, stay up, stay up. That's what you got to do. You got to stay up, switch out, got to make them make. You know, right there, miscommunication.
C, step back, got it! Bunch of C, big time. Ties the game at 67. No timeout for the Red Hawks as the call from Dollar. Pickett stripped. Watson with the launch, and we go to overtime.
Now that's very unfortunate because you don't want to run by a guy in the three-point area. We said you got to make him make a 2. So go up on him, make him put the ball on the floor and go to the basket.
All right, which could be critical in this overtime session. Bular winning the tip, as he did to open the game. Deruin, Mullings, Bonjasi, Watson, and Bular on the court for the Aggies. Trent, Rasmussen, Pickett, Obasi, and Lewis Green starting overtime for the Red Hawks. Watson, unconventional, but that doesn't matter if it goes in.
No, it doesn't, and you can't give him a look that close in. He's been making that shot all night long.
Game high 20 points for Watson. Seattle U looking to tie or take the lead.
Well, Mullings is going to play Rasmussen. He's not going to give him a chance or an opportunity to get a look.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Obasi trying to break down C, gets into the paint, but there's the big fella, and that leads to a Red Hawk turnover.
Yeah, who are you passing the ball to? You got to know where teammates are, and teammates have to make themselves available. You know a guy is penetrating, then put yourself in his passing lane.
23rd turnover against the Red Hawks. And Deruin walks it into front court. Watson in the block, guarded by Trent. Cameron Dollar yelling, too easy, pressure.
Yeah, you're letting them pass the ball around way too easy. They're getting too many good looks.
Watson feeling it, but rejected inside. The Aggies will maintain possession. 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Now that was good defense by Seattle U that time. Right now, they got to play even better defense for this 7 seconds. Don't let them off the hook.
Deruin to inbound. Mullings off the pick. It's the side of the board. Rebound Trent. Outlet Pickett. Clarence Trent for 3. Green. Boy, Mullings thought he had it. Green comes out of nowhere to bat it away.
Great play by Green. He gives his team another chance at the basket.
Obasi with the pick, trying to get something going for Pickett, who goes back to Obasi. Size advantage on Mullings.
Big guy is there, though, to give some help, so you got to be careful.
And it was Sim Bular who got a hand on it, knocking it out. Bular's minutes tonight heading into overtime, 23, and the comfort level about 21 to 23 minutes, so he's getting pushed a little bit. Played 25 minutes his last time out against Texas State.
He's been effective down the stretch, though. You know, he's helped his teammates defensively.
Green checking out, Crook checking in, and this is Crook. An off-balance runner, well-designed play. C hits the deck. Timeout being called and awarded to New Mexico State.
Well, that's great awareness by the big guy. I mean, he's just a freshman, and he was aware that we got the ball.
It's also a couple of assists. That's one thing I like about his game, Lenny, is he's a pretty good passer out of that low post.
He really is. You know, the only time he gets in trouble is when he puts it down on the floor. Yeah. But you're right. If he catches it and they're double teaming, he looks around, he can find his teammate.
Aggies looking to build on a 2-point lead and put a little more pressure on the Red Hawks. Watson guarded by Trent, two very physically gifted young men. Mullings. Shot clock down to 7. Good defense by Obasi. Seeing the low block. Off balance, throws it up. And will head to the line. And that foul's going to go against Chad Rasmussen. That's his 3rd. Bonjasi heads to the stripe where he's made 3 of 7.
Well, right here, he's got position, and he's closing up on him, and that's why they call a foul. When you use your body to stay up and move the guy, usually the referees are going to see that.
Chad was trying to sell it by keeping those arms straight up, but no deal as C hits on the first. 19 points for Bonjasi, who averages 8.9 per game. And of course, hitting that big 3-pointer to force the extra session.
Well, Bonjasi, you know, he's made his presence felt. He's been effective. He's helped his team down the stretch. He's come up with a couple of big plays.
20 points, has a career high of 25. Crook checking out. Bedard checking in. 2:18 left in overtime.
Now this is going to be crucial right here. Seattle U's got to come up with a score. They can't turn that ball over. They got to execute and get themselves a good opportunity.
Obasi cut off by C. Swinging it, corner Rasmussen, batted away by Mullings. Last touch, I thought, by Pickett Jr., but apparently off Mullings. It'll be Seattle U ball with 13 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, I think in that situation there in the corner, Rasmussen should have shot the ball. I think he's second-guessing himself now a little bit.
1 for 7 from 3-point range tonight. Pickett, good defense by Watson. Pickett, tough shot inside. And a shot clock violation on the Redhawks. Terrific defensive sequence by the Aggies of New Mexico State, who look to build on a 4-point lead with 1:42 left in overtime.
Well, you know, it's tough because Pickett, you know, he's trying like all get out, but you're among the trees down below, and you got to find a teammate. The ball's got to be passed out.
Redhawks need to find somebody who can hit a shot right now from the perimeter. Deruin. Of course, the Aggies should not be in a hurry to get a shot off, as the shot clock is down to 10 now. They'll go to work. There's Mullings. 5 seconds now on the shot clock. Watson. Trent did not need to reach on that play, and that burned him badly as Watson hits again. Now 22 points.
Yeah, you got to play position defense that time because you know exactly where Watson's going.
Pickett, no good. Loose ball. Trent trying to save it. Does inside. Obasi with the slam. 47.4. Redhawks within for Obasi with 14 points.
That was great hustle defense by the Redhawks. I mean, they stayed with it, got that ball back, and right now they got to stay up. They got to try and force New Mexico State into a turnover.
Each team with 1 timeout remaining, and the Aggies take theirs. Back to that play that Watson scored on. You have to know who you're defending. His shot we talked about, Lenny, starts from maybe mid-chest to mid.
You know, the Redhawks have got to try and force a turnover or a quick shot, and then New Mexico State has got to execute and see if they can get a play.
And the Redhawks come up with a steal. Pickett inside. Trent. Too strong on the follow. Would have made it a 2-point game. Obasi fouled as he spun. Deruin thought he simply went down because he was out of control.
No, that was a good play. Obasi going to the basket right there. Look at that. They steal the inbounds pass. They stay aggressive. Go up right there. Oh, almost a dunk. And now here's where Obasi gets by him. Right there, makes a spin, and he's using his body. Good call by the official.
Prince Obasi at the line tonight, 1 of 1 on the season, shoots 56%. And Obasi decides to use the delay in play to practice. Good thing that one didn't count.
No, they had blown the whistle. He knew it, and it just gives him a chance to say, okay, get rid of some of these nerves.
2 shots for Obasi. Still a 4-point lead for the Aggies. This is a huge one to make it a 1-possession game.
Well, the Red Hawks have to stay up no matter what. They got to stay up, pressure, see if they can force another turnover.
Watson, DeRuin, up ahead, and they throw it away. She was not anticipating the pass. Here's Trent. Rasmussen blocked by C out of bounds. 20.7 seconds left. Seattle University with 1 timeout.
C went to sleep on that one, boy. I mean, he looked around like there was someone behind him.
What do you think about not taking the timeout here?
I think it's good sometimes, right there, because that way they don't know what to do. So that's good.
Chad Rasmussen breaks his drought from downtown, and there's a wide open Aggie at the other end, and they throw it away. Mullings did not need to take the gamble, did, and it backfires in a tied game at 73, and now the Red Hawks can play for the last shot.
They really can. The Red Hawks, their defensive pressure really rattled New Mexico State. So that was good. Good. Coach Dollar coached this game. He put his team in position to win.
Red Hawks with a chance to get their first conference win on this possession. Obasi, short. Double overtime in Seattle at Elgin Baylor Court. Wow,
that's
what
exciting.
a game.
Exciting basketball, Tom. Both teams not quitting. Both teams not giving.
Facing the Red Hawks, Prince Obasi with 15, Clarence Trent 14, Devon Pickett Jr. with 12, and Lewis Green with 11. Deshaun Sunderhouse has fouled out. He is unavailable. He fouled out in regulation. And here we go at the start of the second overtime at Key Arena. See, nice find inside. Watson rejected by Green. Big time defensive play by Lewis. Trent stripped as he went up. Red Hawks will keep the ball.
That was a great defensive series there by the Red Hawks. They gave great help, kept a short 2 from going into the basket. You take a look at this great pass, but the help from the weak side made all the difference in the world.
Trent out, Green out, Crook in, Rasmussen in for the Red Hawks. Into Flora. And Pickett will set things from the point. Screen by Obasi. Gets another one. Hesitation move and the foul against DeRuin.
Well, DeRuin has his hands full. You know, he's got his 4th foul. He has his hands full guarding Pickett. And Pickett knows if he gets along that baseline and the big guy has to come help, he's got to find his teammate for an easy opportunity. 12
lead changes, 15 ties tonight. It really has been a hotly contested game throughout. Very competitive stuff. DeRuin with that last foul. Now with 4. Trent getting ready to return for Seattle U. Pickett at the line.
Pickett's made some big free throws tonight. Got to give the young man credit. You know, he's gone to that line, and when they've had to have the shots, the points, he stepped up big.
Has hit 5 of 6 coming into the game, shooting just 40% at the stripe. Ular with the rebound. DeRuin to C. DeRuin with the 3. Ular with the rebound. Goes up. Boy, I thought there's a big slap on his arm. No call. And the Red Hawks with a chance to build on their lead. Probably made a mistake, though, Lenny, by bringing that ball down as low as he did.
Yeah, you can't bring the ball that far down. If you do, you give people an opportunity to get their hands on the ball or to block the shot.
Trent chases it down. Aggressive defense by Bonjasi. Obasi with a size advantage. Green. Ular with a rebound. Watson. Seattle University will have 2 timeouts in this overtime. New Mexico State with 1. We approach 3:10 left in overtime number 2 in Seattle. Watson banks it in.
He called it too.
24 points. And that equals his career high. Trent for 3, no good. Mullings saves it in, but the Red Hawks have possession and a new shot clock. And Cameron Dollar uses one of his 2 timeouts as Crook and Rasmussen will return to the lineup. Well, let's take a look at how we got here into our second overtime. Foul on Clarence Trent is his 4th. Tyrone Watson heads to the line where he's made 4 of 5 tonight.
Yeah, Watson's been real good. You know, he's played hard. Like Coach Menzies said, he's been the glue to their team. And you know, for a crazy looking shot, he gets to the foul line and he's got good focus. And the shot looks good coming off his head.
Makes it a 2-possession game. That's a career high 25 points for Watson. A career high 7 steals to go along with 5 assists. And he's been rock solid on the boards as well with 6 rebounds. That is a stat line.
That's been a good line, too, because Mullings kind of disappeared in the second half. But Watson has stayed right there.
5-point lead. Rasmussen inside. Green will jump hook. Nicely done. Lewis Green with 13 points. And Cameron Dollar with the timeout wants to set his defense with his club down by 3. 49.6 left in the second. Just hope to secure a rebound or a turnover. when you try to send him to the line at some point.
Yeah, you don't leave a guy open like that. But what you got to do is pressure defense. You got to play pressure, foul a guy, make him do something with the ball.
And they turn it over. Numbers for the Red Hawks. Obasi inside. Check it. Alan Tate stripped as he went up. Cameron Dollar wanted Tate at the line. Rasmussen will return. Trent heading to the bench, but it's not him. It's Alan Tate coming out, and Pickett to inbound. Again, the turnovers tonight have been really out of control for both clubs.
For both clubs. But New Mexico State has not handled pressure very well. And that's why you got to continue to play pressure defense.
If the Red Hawks lose, Clarence Trent will think about that play all night long. A chance for a three-point play. And granted, he was hit, but Lenny, I think at that point, you just got to lay it in instead of going for the dunk, because that elevation was impacted by the foul. How easy for me to say that sitting over here.
It's hard to say, and did someone foul out or what?
Yeah, Deruin's out.
Okay, so he's out of the game. But when you're in the heat of the moment like that, big guy like that, he's by the basket. He knows he can dunk it. No one's going to stop that. So it's hard to say, okay, just lay it in. But in that situation, I sympathize with him, or empathize with him.
That's the perspective mind of a career non-dunker.
Hey, I dunked it a couple of times.
I know you did.
Only once.
All right, Trent gets his club within 2. Shot clock and game clock virtually the same. Foul in backcourt, and that's going to send Casey Ross Miller to the line. Tonight at the stripe, this will be his first trip. And on the season, the best free throw shooter for New Mexico State at 86%.
Yeah, that's not the guy you want to go to the line. Even though he may not have been to the line all night, he's still, a terrific free throw shooter.
Aggies with one timeout, none remaining for the Red Hawks. Money at the line that time by Ross Miller. Tate out. Bedard also checking out for the Red Hawks, who have Green, Trent, Obasi, Pickett Jr., and Rasmussen on the court. Down by 3. Big free throw right here. Too strong. Last touched. Hold on. Last touched by Clarence Trent. As one official overruled another.
You can see it. We'll take a look at that right there. He misses the free throw now. Look at the 2 players underneath right there. Okay, ball's off Seattle U.
By the way, that free throw by Ross Miller, the first point scored by an Aggie not named C. or Watson since 6:26 to go in regulation.
Well, this is going to be interesting because really they handle pressure very poorly, New Mexico State.
And the foul will send Ross Miller back to the line. The foul will go against Clarence Trent. That is his 5th. He's done.
Well, this is going to be a tough one because this young man, he missed one before, but that was because he hadn't shot free throws all night. He's probably going to make both of these.
First one, let's go.
Dollar huddles his team as he gets ready to make a substitution with Trent fouling out. They'll send Obasi, Tate, Pickett, Green, and Rasmussen out on the court. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, double-double tonight for Clarence Trent. Former University of Washington player. One season with the Huskies before transferring to Seattle U. 2-possession game now with that free throw by Ross Miller. 4-point lead for the Aggies.
The Aggies got to make sure they stay matched up this time and play good defense. If they have to switch, they need to switch. But you can't just leave a guy wide open.
Whether it's 2 or 3, you got to get to work quickly. Pickett inside, short on the lay-in. Tate losing the ball. Lewis picks it up. Lewis Green out to Rasmussen for the 3. 11.3 left. Into C. Got to get the foul. And the foul goes against Devon Pickett Jr. A 2-point game. Take another look at Chad Rasmussen, who's come up big in the extra sessions.
Yeah, you don't leave people wide open, but he's wide open. He's ready, and give his teammate credit for finding him, getting him the ball. And shooters are going to shoot the ball, and that's what he did.
Bonjassi 5 of 9 at the line. Needs both to make it a 2-possession game. 3-point lead Aggies. The big one right here. Redhawks with a chance to tie if they can get a 3-point off and connect. Rasmussen, that's too long. Obasi fades. Put in by Green with .6, but not enough. And the Aggies inbound and get the 1-point victory in double overtime. Seattle U, the final tonight.